We started the Rambam Hilchos Talmud Torah. We mentioned that the Rambam has two mitzvos: one to learn Torah, and one to be mechabed those that learn it, and then those that teach it. We mentioned Nashim Avodim B'Ktanim P'tur Mitalmud Torah. We mentioned the Rambam starts off with a p'tur. Again, I didn't really give a full answer, but it could be, again, not fully worked out. It's such an obvious chiyuv and so all-encompassing that the given, you have to learn Torah. So I'll tell you who's pater. It's so all-encompassing. It's not just a ma'isa mitzvah that everybody can shake a lulav, but everybody has a chiyuv to do this, and here's shofar. Torah is our life. Torah is what we do every second. If you're opening up a Rambam in Hilchos Talmud Torah, you understand that every second of your life is a chiyuv of Talmud Torah. So I'm just going to tell you who don't. I'm going to limit what's obvious. I'm going to limit what's so all-encompassing. And that's why the Rambam starts off by saying, that's how I read the Rambam. Again, still looking for other ideas. I know Yosef mentioned one to me last week, but that's an idea. But again, it still needs to be worked on. As we mentioned, but a child, the father is a chiyuv to teach Torah. Based on the pasuk in Shema, a mother has no chiyuv per se in teaching Torah to her children. Whoever has a chiyuv to learn has a chiyuv to teach. A woman doesn't have a chiyuv to learn, and therefore no chiyuv to teach. That's what the Gemara talks about also, the connection. What about the mitzvah of chinuch? The mitzvah of chinuch the same as the mitzvah of Talmud Torah? The mother not have a chiyuv to be mechanech her child per se. Obviously, it's a great idea, and obviously they get a lot of schar for it. But is there a chiyuv? So that's a big machlokas rishonim. Hopefully, one day we'll discuss it. Whether the chiyuv is on the parent or on the child, but even if it's on the parent, there's a machlokas rishonim whether it's only on the father or also on the mother. That's in terms of the mitzvah of chinuch. Let's just do one more for now. There's the Rambam on Halacha Beis. Ishem she'adam chayav alamed es beno. Kachu chayav alamed as ben beno. It's like a person has a chiyuv to teach their sons, so too their grandsons. The Rambam doesn't say anywhere that you have a chiyuv to make sure your grandson shakes a lulav. You have a chiyuv to make sure that your grandson wears tzitzis. The chiyuv to teach Torah to your grandchildren. What's that pasuk by? Anybody know? What is the end of that pasuk? You shall let your children and grandchildren know. B'chorev. That pasuk, as Yaakov says, that's not about Talmud Torah. That's about Ma'amad Har Sinai. Maybe part of the secret is that when we teach Torah, we're supposed to try to give over the experience of Har Sinai too. It's not just information, but it's the Har Sinai experience, and that's why the pasuk about Har Sinai is used there. So it's not just the information. The fire has to be passed on. And that's where the Rambam continues, Lo ben beno bilvad, and not only a grandson. Al kol chacham b'chacham Yisrael, l'lamed es kol ha-talmidim eva avei shenam banav. Every chacham in Israel has a chiyuv to teach all the talmidim. So nowadays, this Rambam really comes alive. Because if you were a Rav in Volozhin, how many talmidim were in Volozhin at the heyday of Volozhin? I don't know, a couple hundred? So you weren't teaching the whole world. Kol ha-talmidim. Nowadays, you can give a shir, and you can mamish teach all the talmidim. There could be 10,000 people that listen to your shir. It's unbelievable. We have the power, and that's an achrayus. That's a responsibility. It's an opportunity that Hashem gives us. It's a mitzvah on every chacham Yisrael. Alamed is called talmidim ava b'shein banav shene'emar v'shinantam l'banecha. V'pi yishmu alamdu banecha elu talmidecha. These are your students. The talmidim kriyim banim. Students are called children. Shene'emar v'yatzu b'nei hanavim. Im kein laman is avesal beno ben beno. If you have to teach everybody, why did they say son and grandson in the pasuk? Lakim beno leben beno. Ben beno leben chaveiro. It's just an order issue. If you have a choice to teach a student and a son, your son goes first. Your son goes first, and then your grandson, and then all the other talmidim. But again, there's a chiyuv to teach everyone. One might suggest, right? The Rambam is telling you that the Torah is not something private. You have to spread it. You have to be mefarseim it. It's similar. Some Rishonim even have the comparison to nevuah. When a navi gets a nevuah, Right? There's an isser of kovesh nevuaso. There's an isser of keeping your nevuah to yourself. How did you have to share it? Hashem gives you a nevuah, then you have to tell everybody that nevuah. And if I don't, I'm chayiv misa. Kovesh nevuaso. One of the Rishonim in the Sefer Hasidim says, if somebody has Torah that he could share and he doesn't share it, it's like kovesh nevuaso. Because Hashem gives you Torah. Torah is not something private of yours. Torah is to share. Torah is to inspire. Torah is to spread the light. So anyone who has the ability to share Torah has a responsibility to do as much as he can. To be able to share it and to be able to get as much out of it. And again, as I said, if you have an opportunity, I don't know, if your family members would love to have a WhatsApp Torah from you every Friday, go for it. Right? That's spreading Torah. Whatever position somebody's in to spread at different stages of life, one has to do the most that they can to be able to do that. But that's the Rambam here. Again, Nashal Purim, and then Chiyuv to teach sons and grandsons, and all of those around. Okay, we'll stop there in the Rambam in Hilchos Talmud Torah. Okay. Are we ready to get back to we still have the last section of our previous topic to do. Everybody with us? Sunday always feels like we haven't learned in a long time, but we will get into it. Right, we haven't done Gemara since Wednesday. But B'ezras Hashem, we will get into it. Who we missing? Mikey here? Oh, Mikey's not here. That's Mikey and Zakai looking around. Okay, everybody else is good. Everybody else feeling well? Who was not feeling well last week? Feeling better? Who was not feeling well? I don't remember. I thought it was feeling well. Anyway, Baruch Hashem, you're all here now, and we will get into it. And we're just guys, just say something. So I know you're all there. I know you're looking at me. Just unmute for a second and say hi. How you doing?
Hi, Rabbi.
Okay.
Hi, Rabbi.
Torah Chaim. Okay, Torah Chaim. Okay, Baruch Hashem. I just had to get that for a moment. Okay. My wife said, you're giving shir to live Talmidim, but it's not live. It's not live Talmidim. It's a live Talmidim, but it's in a dome, and even the hustle and the bustle and the moving the chairs, I look forward to getting back to at some point. Okay, let's get back to finishing up sugya number 3 and starting sugya number 4. We just have one final point a major point that we still have to make, because it's a thought from Rabbi Chanan that is very yesodistic, and it applies to 25 different sugyas and chas. This Rabbi Chanan, you will come back to again and again over the next years of your learning. For certain pieces in various achronim that are basic, that they're brought up in different places, then you take them with you. This Rabbi Chanan in Siman Ayin Vav is one to take with us. So why are we doing it? So remember, we're trying to defend the Balamar and the other way of looking from the point of the Ritva. The Ritva brought up 2 points. He says in the Gemara, when you have brother and son, when the Gemara says that isn't Yibum something with the Ach stands in, the Gemara says, no. If there's a son, then Ach doesn't get off the ground. So when the Gemara says that, is that saying son is better? That's the Rashbam and Tosfos. The problem for them is, why doesn't the Gemara ever bring this up as a strength for son? Okay, it's a little tzarachian, unless that's the Gemara's maskana. But Malamar seems to say, and Tosfos rejects a shita, so he knows there's a shita out there that says that they're equal. So if they're equal, though, number one, what about the question from Daf Kuftes that we answered already? We had from Rav Meir Simcha one answer. We had from the Torah Chaim another answer. But then what about the Svar the Ritva gave? Right, the Ritva said, 1 second, the son has to be more central than the brother, because the son doesn't have to do anything. Son just exists, and he fulfills Shem Achiv, while the brother has to do something. The brother has to perform Yibum, but he has to act. The fact that he has to act shows that he's not as central. It's not as automatic. If he's automatic, so then that shows that they are central. How do you answer that point? So, number one, we mentioned that even if you want to say you have to do something, so what? Once he does it, so then maybe he's equal. Who says he's worse? I'll give you a little mashal just from the next sugya we're going to do. a husband yarshaning. So that's going to be very different than all other Yerushas, because obviously it's not a blood relative. But once the husband marries, maybe it turns into regular Yerusha. Someone has to do something. We'll talk about that. Hashem. That's Isugya. Here, so what? So the brother has to do Yibum, but maybe once he does Yibum, it's just as much as a Kima in Yakum Shem as the son would have been. Or maybe it's a little deeper, and this is why where we left off. Maybe it's deeper. Maybe even the brother. Yes, he has to do something. But maybe there's something Mamela also by him. Right? What did Ritva say? The son is automatic. Maybe the brother is also automatic. Maybe automatic. He has to do Yibum. Yeah, but maybe that itself is an automatic chalos. And if we say that, as we'll explain in a few minutes, right, maybe that helps explain the Balamar to answer up the Ritva's Taina. The Ritva says, no, the brother, son has to be more central because he's automatic. The brother's not automatic. Maybe the brother, yes, has to pull a trigger. He has to do the physical act of Yibum. But once he does that, maybe it's automatic too. The result of Yibum. So where do we see that? That's why I gave you, first we discussed the Minchas Chinuch. Again, a classic Minchas Chinuch. This was the last one we did on Wednesday. And that is, we noted that Yibum is an act. Erik Habaal Yevimto. In Yivam, it's on Dafn and Gimel. Right, Ben Bo'onis, Ben B'shogeg. Doesn't matter what the kavan is. A man thinks he's being mizaneh with an Eishes Ish, and it turns out to be his Yavama. The Yibum works and they're married. You tell him Mazel Tov the next morning. Right? But how does that work? There's no kavana for it. How does that work? He needs kavana for the act, as we mentioned, but no kavana for what he's doing more than that. What exactly is the message of Yibum? So we did mention the Minchas Chinuch again, and maybe there's a chilik between the kinyan and the mitzvah. We mentioned three different assumptions that the Minchas Chinuch seems to have, that there are two parts. There's a mitzvah and a kinyan, and they're not connected to each other, and you can do them separately. All three of those, again, two parts, not connected, and even if they are connected, you can do one without the other. All three of those are assumptions of that Minchas Chinuch. But either way, the Minchas Chinuch highlights that there's an idea of a kinyan, there's something automatic that happens by Yibum. And how automatic is that? So now we get to the Rabbi Chana. Rabbi Chana notes that there are two types of halachic actions that achieve effects in halacha. Two types of actions. They're all physical actions. But how do we look at the result that came from the physical action? Did I do it? Or did my action do it? Sounds unusual. What do you mean, did my action do it? My action's me. No. In halacha, you can be mechalik between the gavra and the maisa. The classic example he gives is shchita. Shchita. Did I make this animal kosher? The answer is no. I did not make the animal kosher. I physically cut the simanim. I did an act of shchita. Once I do an act of shchita, Hashem says it's kosher. I didn't say it was kosher. Hashem said it was kosher. Based on the action that I did. If I messed up the action, if I didn't do a maisa shchita, so then there's no action that declares it. Koach oso maisa. But that's a category. That's what Rabbi Chanan calls koach hamaisa. It flows from the maisa itself. Then, of course, there's koach ha'adam, where I do something and I'm in control. I put a ring on a woman's finger. I perform an act of kiddushin. I am the mekadesh, and she is ne'asar to the whole world because of me, not just because of the maisa. It's koach ha'adam, not koach ha'maisa. Two different types of action. Says Rabbi Chanan. Number one, everything's from me. Kinyanim, kiddushin v'gerushin. The person, the Adam is the Poel. He doesn't. That's number one. And number two, as we explained, the act itself, the man has to do the physical action. But once that happens, the result is memela. Like shchita, that's the example that he gives. Whenever you have a chakira, a chiluk, you always need halachic differences. He quotes about 8 differences. What's that 8 differences? What's the first one? Tanai. You make it conditional. Can I make an act conditional? Right? Can I make you make a marriage conditional? Of course. The first type of action, let's flip them. Koach Adam, if the person does it, you can make a t'nai. I will only marry you if it rains tomorrow. I will only marry you if whatever. You can make a t'nai because that's in your control. You can make your actions conditional. But something that happens memela, you can't make a t'nai on. So for example, we said shchita is an example. Chalitza is another example. Second, right, that she removes his, right, she removes his sandal. Memela, chalitza works. Can't make a t'nai on chalitza. Chalitza is like shchita. Chalitza is from koach ha'maisa. Memela, you do the physical act of chalitza, it's done. You can't make a t'nai on that. You can't make a t'nai on shchita. If it snows, then the game is going to be kosher. And if not, it's not going to be kosher. You can't do that. It's not in your power. You're not in charge of this chalotz, this halachic effect. Right? It flows from the action. So that's an afkamina. Number one, t'nai. Number two, could you delay? Could you delay the effect? I only want this animal to be kosher in 2 weeks from now. You can't do that. By shchita, it's not in your control. You do the physical act, memela, Hashem says, the effect is achieved. You don't control that. You can't be kovei zman. Yeah.
Isn't that like the same thing as a t'nai?
It's similar. The Gemara has it as 2 different types of topics. T'nai means that the effect is when the chalos happens, but it's totally on something else. Here, it's not totally. It's just time is not something else. You're just delaying the effect from happening. It's not totally on something else, unless you say that something else is time. But that's why it can be a separate category. But yes, it is very similar to t'nai. Right? Or, again, I'm not going to go through all of them. There was a big discussion in the beginning of Maseches Temura. This is number 5 on your sheet that I gave you. The beginning of Maseches Temura discusses, if I do something that I'm not allowed to do, is it effective or not? If I do an Aveira that's supposed to achieve an effect, if a Kohen marries a Grusha, does it work? He did an Aveira, but does it work? The Avid Mahani, the whole statement, anything the Torah tells you not to do. Yavid Mahani, does it work? Yavid Lo Mahani. Or does it not work? That whole, and there's 20 different examples of this in the Gemara, and most of them, the Gemara says, everybody agrees, there's machlokas about specific ones. If a Kohen tries to marry a Grusha, it works. If a man tries to marry his sister, it doesn't work. They're both Averas, but one works, one doesn't work. If I pour, well, let's just explain it. That whole discussion is only relevant if the person is the Oser. If the person is the Oser, if it's Koach Adam, if it's Koach HaMaisa, that conversation does not get off the ground. Of course it works. Of course it works. Nothing to talk about. Right? If somebody pours milk into my hot potted chicken soup, oh no, the effect's not going to happen. No, it's a reality. It's a reality. When this happens, it becomes treif. When you shecht an animal, it becomes kosher. Obviously, it has to be a Jew that checked. If a goy shechs, that it's the physical act obviously didn't happen halachically. But that whole discussion of Yav Mahani, Yav Lo Mahani is only where category 1, where it's coming from the person. Then you can talk about did it work or not. But if it's automatic, it's over the Mamela, and of course it's going to work. There's nothing to talk about. And then towards the end, the Rabbi Chanan discusses another halachic aspect that sometimes is needed. He talks about Ein davar shebe'erba pachos mishnayim. The last line of that page I gave you. Ein davar shebe'erba pachos mishnayim. We know by certain activities you need 2 witnesses, like Kiddushin. Kiddushin needs 2 witnesses, or else it didn't happen. Gemara says in Kiddushin, Daf Samachay, somebody gets married without Eidim, even if it was seen on Zoom by 1 million people. Doesn't matter. They're not married. There weren't 2 kosher Eidim standing there with them. Hamakadesh beino lebeina ein choshen lekiddushin. Everybody knows that it happened. You put it on a video. With 1 million views, doesn't matter. It didn't happen. For davar shebe'erba, you need 2 witnesses. Ein davar shebe'erba pachos mishnayim. For Kiddushin, for Gerushin. But let's say, what about an Yeish Isha Zinsa? Right? Rabbi Chanan says, isn't that a davar shebe'erva? Has to do with Arayas. You don't need 2 witnesses, except the killer. If she knows that she was Mizana, she's a Surah L'Baila without witnesses. Says Rabbi Chanan. There you don't need Eidim to be Mekayim the davar, to make sure that the action happened halachically. Because marriage is category 1, Adam. Znus is category 2. If a woman is mizana willingly, she memela becomes asura to her husband. If she did it willingly, she becomes asura to her husband. You don't need witnesses to confirm that. Witnesses are needed for category 1, not category 2, when it comes to davar shebe'erva. Davar shebe'erva that comes from Koach Adam, like Kiddushin and Gerushin, they need Eidim to be there. No Eidim, it didn't happen. Category 2, like Znus does not need Eidim except to punish the people involved. But it's a davar d'memela. And then he just has the parentheses, and that's what we're focusing on. There's one line in the parentheses that says, and what about Yibum? And what about Yibum? What's the issue here? Does Yibum need Eidei Kiyum? That's the suffix for the Ha'ara of Rabbi Khan. What does Eidei Kiyum mean? Eidei Kiyum means Eidim have to witness the event. And if there are no Eidim at the event didn't happen. Only certain activities in life need Eidei Kiyum. Right? Most don't. I could tell you something in private. We don't need Eidei Kiyum there. Eidim to be Mekayim the event. Marriage, divorce, certain things need Eidei Kiyum. Why? Because Rabbi Chanan says that's category 1. What about Yibum? Does Yibum need Eidei Kiyum? That is totally not clear in the Gemara. But the fundamental idea, the Gemara says that you need Eidim for Kiddushin and Gerushin. Gemara doesn't talk about Yibum. You have a big long Masechta in Masechtas Yevamis. It doesn't say anywhere. It should say you have to do Yibum in front of Eidim. No, it says you have to do Chalis in front of a Bezdin. 3. But that's because you need a Bezdin. What about Eidim for Yibum? That's the Shaila. That is not clear. And that is a Machlokas Rishonim. That's what I gave you to look at in Maseches Kiddushin. It's a fascinating way that the Gemara, that they get into it through that sugya. What does the Gemara talk about? The Gemara talks about Rav Mangid. Remember that Gemara? Maybe some of you saw it on Thursday. It's been a couple of days. Rav Mangid Amad Mekadesh Bebia. We know the first Mishnah Kiddushin. 3 ways a woman can get married: Kesef, Shtar, and Bia. And Kiddushay Bia, at a certain point in history, stopped being used. Rav used to give Malchus. Not only did you not do a mitzvah, maybe you did a mitzvah, but Rav gave you Malchus. If somebody was Mekadesh Bebia, Rav used to give them Malchus. So why? Why did Rav give them Malchus? The Gemara says, Pritzus. It's Pritzus. What does the word paritz mean, literally? I've been talking too long. What does the word paritz mean?
To break.
Breach.
Someone. What?
Breach.
Breach, good, breach, a hole. A hole. Breach is a hole. So priestess means there's something broken open here. Opposite of tznius. Tznius means covered up and closed, and paritz is a hole. So what's the priestess here, right? That's the machlokas rishonim. What is the priestess here that Rav was upset about? That Rav gave Malchus Amanda Mekadesh Bebia.
Would it still work even if they got Malchus?
Yes, it works. It works. Rav gave Malchus. Rav gave Malchus to Rabbanan. What is the problem? So what is, again, there's two versions of Rabbeinu Tam. What does Rabbeinu Tam say in the Tosfos and Meseches Kiddushin? Good base of a base. What's the priestess? Somebody tell me. What's the priestess? Tosfos quotes Rabbeinu Tam. Who's got it? Somebody yell it out.
Because you need
Adam see it.
Adam see it. You need Adam for Kiddushin, right? So you need Adam for Kiddushin. So it's how can you? It's inappropriate. It's disgusting. That the Adam are gonna have to witness Kiddushay Bia. So says the Rabbeinu Tam, the Tzarech o Ede Bia o Ede Yichud, Davar Mechuar. Even if it's just Ede Yichud, they know what you're doing inside. All right, so that's why it's inappropriate. A question in brackets, not for now. Not for now, but just in brackets. So why is there even a possibility? Why does the Torah give a possibility to do Kiddushay Bia? If it's so terrible, whatever the reason is going to be. Why was it allowed in the first place? So keep that in mind. That's a question for Meseches Kiddushin, but we're not going to focus on that right now. But that's Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam in Tosfos Kiddushin says, why did Rav give Malchus for Kiddushay Bia? Because it would have to be witnessed, and it's disgusting. So ask Tosfos. But 1 second. Vikasha. Yibum is Perak Rabbi Gamliel. Hopefully some of you saw this Gemara. Right? Saw the Tosfos. What does Tosfos say? Tosfos says that the Rabbanan instituted something called Ma'amar. What's Ma'amar? Kiddushin for Yibum. A Kiddushin to Rabbanan. Before the Maisa Bia is done by Yibum, the Rabbanan instituted that first do an active Kiddushin. It's to Rabbanan. But do an active Kiddushin in Maimar. Do Maimar and then Bia. Says the Gemara there. And if you didn't do Maimar? What if you didn't do Maimar? And you get Malchus Mardus. Mitzvahs Yavama Mekadesh Father Baal. Lo Kaddish. Lo Kemalchus Mardus B'der Rabbanan. Kerav. Because like Rav says. You didn't do Maimar before Yibum, you're going to get Malchus. But as Tosfos, V'hasam Lamisham Adam Talyatayma, you can't say the problem there is Adam for the Bia, because there, the Yavama Midoraisa, in a nick that's Ela Bebia. What does it sound like from Tosfos? According to Tosfos, what does Tosfos say? Yibum needs Adam anyway. So your problem there can't be priestess that do Adam there. Because the Gemara there says you messed up and you get Malchus, but there you're going to need Adam even if you did Maimar beforehand. You did Maimar, and then you did Yibum. You need Adam there. And then you wouldn't get Malchus. They asked Tosfos, the problem with priestess, why Rav gave Malchus, can't be because Adam are going to witness it. That can't be the problem. Because over there, you need it by Yibum. And by Yibum, the Gemara says there's a different problem. The problem is that you didn't do Maimar first, which is the Kiddushin of Yibum. The Tosfos says you have to have a different job. But what is clear from Tosfos? That Yibum requires a dekiyum. That's the important point of Tosfos from us, for our sugya. That Yibum requires a dekiyum. Well, once we're here, we do the answer of Tosfos. A beautiful answer, which really reflects Judaism's idea of relationships. Well, Nira Lari, hope you saw this Tosfos. Hainu priestess. What's the priestess by Kiddushay Bia? She'osin tchilas kinyanin bebia. Your first connection, your first recognized connection to this woman should not be physical. Should not be sexual. It should not be. That's not appropriate. First, create the context, and that's what Judaism does. Judaism creates a context before the physical act takes place. And that's what's supposed to be done. Your tchilas kinyan shouldn't be with Bia. That was the problem. Why Yibum? Why Yibum? Somebody answer the question. Yibum, it's not considered tchilas asiyasan. Fine, mimer, but even mida oraisa, just doing Yibum, it's not considered that you're starting your relationship with a Maisabiyah. Why not? Somebody tell me.
The continuation of the brother.
What?
You're a continuation of the brother.
Good. I'll just say that idea in the words the Gemara used. You already have a zika. The Torah already, exactly what you said, lady. The Torah already connected you. The Torah connected you through your dead brother. So that's not called the beginning of your halachic relationship. You already have the halachic relationship. Judaism does not believe. You don't go right straight to Nisuin. You don't live together. You first have to create the context. You have a Maisa Kiddushin. And even by Yibum, the Rabbanan instituted a Maisa Kiddushin. That's the pritus that Rav gave Malchus for. You can't have the beginning of the relationship. Chilas asiyas, chilas yachas bia, that's not appropriate. Right? And that's what we saw also in the Ritva there. Just the names are mixed up. The Ritva quotes this from Rabbeinu Tam, right? The opposite. In Tosfos, it's Rabbeinu Tam and then the Ri, and here it's the opposite. The Ritva says also beferish, what we thought the Tosfos said. He quotes from Bob Edom, Lo Muchaber Klada, Be'eda Yichud Sagi. Lo Sagi is like Edibia. Bia Gomeris, Bob Lo Kasav Shtar, Lo Kach Perish Rabbeinu Tam. Hainu chutzpah. I'm not being machal between chutzpah and pritos. Hainu chutzpah. Mishum she'osa efker she'tchilas kiruvo beishto b'bia. The nirek ka'osa derech znus. In an added line. Start the relationship with a Maisa Bia looks like znus. That's not Judaism. Judaism, you need to be halachically connected before you live together. And that's the Maisa Kiddushin. And that's the Maimar or the Zika. But the Tosfos and the Ritva say beferish. The Yibum requires a day Kiyum. The Ritva's own Rabbi, I don't think I gave you this to look at, did I? The Chuvas HaRashba? Did I put this on your sheet? No, I didn't. It's a Chuvas HaRashba. Dalid Shin Chav Ches. The Chuvas HaRashba, the Ritva's Rebbe, says beferish, the opposite. The Chuvas HaRashba in Chelik Dalid Simin Shin Chav Ches. Somebody asked the Rashba a question. The Rashba has thousands and thousands of Chuvas. What was the Rashba's name? Somebody remind me? Oh, the Rashba's name. Who remembers?
Shlomo Ben Aderet.
Shlomo Ben Aderet. Okay, we got to start having those top quizzes. Shlomo Ben Aderet. So says the Rashba, the Rebbe of the Ritva. The Rashba says he's asked a question about without getting into the details. Somebody asked him, but what about Eidim? Yibum? And the Rashba says as a Dara Pashit. You don't need Eidim. Lo kain, I'll read you the lashon. Lo kain ani medamesh the Yavamat tzricha Eidim. Alafilu baal beinol not kana. Even a Yibum, a bia in private works. And he adds the line. Vizu isha shehiknu lo min hashamayim. Right, what Levi was saying before. This is another lashon that the Gemara uses. Hashem was already makna this man to this woman. You know, when do you need Eidim? You need Eidim by Kiddushin. Well, you're starting to say, here, they're already semi-married. Right when the brother dies. Right? Shehiknu lo min hashamayim. That's the lashon of the Rashba. The Rashba says beferish, Yibum does not need Eidim. The Ritva says beferish, the Yibum does need Eidim. What is this machlokas about? What is this machlokas about? So Rebbe Chanan alluded to it. Maybe the machlokas is about Yibum. The machlokas is about whether Yibum is category 1 or category 2 type of halachic action. Is Yibum in your control like Kiddushin, like marriage? Right, so then it would need Eidim. Then it's like you're in control of it, you're in charge of it. Or no? Yibum, you do the physical act, the Mela, you're married. Hashem says you're married. You just have to do the physical act, then it's automatic. Why are we doing all of this? Because remember we said we're trying to answer up. We're trying to answer up. It just clicked. The Ritzvahs work perfectly together. We're trying to answer up, again, the Ritzvah's claim. The brother has to do something. The son is automatic. So obviously, the son plays more of a role in Yibum. What are we saying? If you say that Yibum is category 2 type of act, it's Koach HaMaisa. The man does the physical act, but Mamela, then Hashem, says they're married, so to speak. You don't need Eidim. So maybe that puts the son and the brother a little more on equal footing. Because there's also an automatic element by Yibum. Not that, he does it. He does a physical act. But Hashem does the rest. So it's beautiful. Think about the Ritva L'Shitaso. The Ritva thinks that, no, the son is central. The brother has to do something. What does the Ritva say by Yibum? You need Eidim. Because the Ritva holds it's category 1. It's Koach HaAdam. Right? The person's doing it. So that the brothers has to do it. That's why the Ritva says the son is more central. The brother has to do something. The son doesn't have to do anything. And maybe, right, the other Rishonim, the Balamor, would say, no, maybe there's more of a equilibrium. The brother has to do the physical act, yeah, but once that's done, Memela, then Hashem does the rest. So if you say it's something that's more automatic, so then we would say it is more comparable to put the son and the brother together. Adkan, sugya of Yibum with brother and son and daughter we spoke about a little bit. Any questions on that? Or fully understood or fully not understood? Or you'll review it and ask me. Tell your stories. I remember when I was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade once. My kids know this story. We finished the sugya. It was in Ketzad Regel, the second parak in Baba Kama. And all of a sudden, the Rebbe asks, okay, who understands the Gemara? So we didn't know, why he was asking. What, are we going to have to, explain it to the rest of the class? So we're going to have to, who understands the Gemara? Yehuda, you know Rabbi Pressman. Rabbi Pressman, who's, did you have him?
Yeah, I had him in 8th grade.
Oh, you had him in 8th grade. So Yehuda had the same Rebbe in 8th grade that I had. So, he says, I still remember this. He says, who understands the Gemara? There were 4 of us that raised our hand. I don't want to lie. I don't know. I know what this was about. He said, what is that? So there were 4 of us that tentatively raised our hand halfway. He's like, okay, you 4 can go to the gym. Everybody else has to stay here. We're like, what? He understood it. So you give us a free period in the gym. Everybody was so jealous. What did I say? I understood the Gemara. It made such an impression on me that's what he. Anyway, it was very fascinating. I still remember that from many years ago. Okay, so whoever
I understand it.
Okay, great. Okay, you can go have some more ice cream. Okay, good. Okay, both sides. Let's start the next Gemara. Again, at least open it up a little bit. I know you didn't have so much time. It is a major topic. Again, that's what this parak, as you see, has a very short dafim, as you'll see. But we're doing the major topics that are based. That as you go through the Gemara, you go through the parak. Let's try to ask, as we always do. We're going to try to ask some questions today, and then we'll continue. We'll continue next time. Okay. If you remember the mission, this is the Yerushas Habaal, husband. The husband's Yerusha. So if you look back on the Mishnah, on Daf Kuf Tezvav, right? That's the Mishnah, which is the source of the Seder of order of Yerusha. The order of Yerusha. So it goes through who's first, Seder Anachlis Kachu, son, daughter, everybody from son, everybody from daughter. There's a new sugya. Everybody, I would scream and say, wake up, everybody, let's get into it. New sugya, whatever time it is, morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. So, The whole order of Nachla is there.
Rabbi.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? And I just said what we finish this now.
Okay.
Can you say that what we just did over here with Koach HaGavra versus Koach HaMaisa also ties into what we said before about the Mifas Nochlin Ephraim, that if you were boil your Yibum by accident, it works automatically because it's just about the Maisa and not about, and even if you did the Maisa, that's the mitzvah, so that shows that it's going to be Koach HaMaisa. Because even if you didn't have an intention, it doesn't have to do with the Koach HaGavra, it just has to do with the Koach HaMaisa.
Again, the Ritz, everybody has to agree to that, but that's the halacha. The halacha is that it works even without kavana. Habaal,
how can you say that if it's Koach HaGavra? Kedushin doesn't work without kavana.
So the chiddush would be that, like the Minchas Chinuch says, it could be that there's a Koach HaAdam element, because you can't do Yibum al T'nai. There are certain things that you wouldn't be able to, I don't think, you could do Yibum al T'nai, it's automatic, right, even without thinking about it. So yes, on the surface, you don't need kavanah. The question is, you have to look, are there any other actions that are in category 1 of Koach HaAdam that work without kavanah? That's your question. That's what we have to think about. Is there anything else that you're in, that you could have? Usually you need a higher level of das, right, for selling and for marriage and for divorce. Is there anything in category 1 that you could do without kavanah? Because Yibum, l'chora, right, is, could be done without kavanah. You need kavanah for the maisa, though. You do need kavanah for the maisa, not for the mitzvah. Remember we said if a guy falls off the roof and just does the act, that's not good enough.
Well, you can say that maybe since we said by Kiddushin that you need a higher level of das because you're being Makayish the woman as opposed to here, since you're already connected to her through the brother, you wouldn't need such a high level of das.
Right. Even though it's category 1.
Right.
Even though it's category 1. Yeah. Could be. But you're right. It is interesting, but I think you have to, he has the suffix that he says this is the machlokas about category 1, the Eidim is the machlokas, category 1, category 2. Your point is pointing out to say it's Koach HaAdam is a chiddush, you need Eidim. If you need Eidim, he says that's a tip-off point. You have to say it's different because there's already a connection. Right? Okay. Let's go. Let me just write that for a second so I can write this afterward. Okay, but you do need kavanah tamaisa. Okay. Anyway, getting back to the new topic. So the Mishnah lists off on Daf Kuf Tezvav all the Seder on Achlas. There's an obvious one that's not on the list, and that's husband. Where's the husband? Not in the Mishnah, the source of it all. The source of Seder on Achlas. Kuf Tezvav and Aleph. The Mishnah tells us, where's husband? Not there. The Rambam also. If you look at the Rambam in the beginning of Hilchos Nachlos, right, where the Rambam talks about Yerusha, also there, the Rambam goes through the whole order and does not mention husband until later on. Here it is. The Rambam in Halacha Perek Aleph, he goes through the whole Seder, and not until he gets to Halacha Ches does he say about the husband. I'm just looking at it now. Interesting. I just noticed this problem. I haven't thought about it, but I'll mention it now. The Rambam Halacha Ches. The wife does not yarshin the husband. Only the husband yarshins the wife. That's an interesting lashon. Why don't you just tell us the husband yarshins the wife? The Rambam first tells us that the wife does not yarshin the husband. Perek Aleph Halacha Ches. Ha'isha eni Yerushas is ba'ila klal. Wife does not yarshin the husband at all. Upal Yerushas kol nichsei ishto midivrei sofrim. The Rambam Shita is there's a machlokas tanoim whether Yerushas Habaal is daraisa or derabana. In our perek, we have a number of shitos that is daraisa. The Rambam paskins is derabana. But the Rambam's lashon is a wife is not yarshin the husband at all. The husband yarshins the wife. Midivrei sofrim. Who kodem lakol b'Yerushasa? The Rambam adds, and he goes before everybody, even before the son. Even before the son. Great, Dove points out, what about in Hilchos Ishus? He mentioned it. Great ha'ara. We'll have to talk about that. He does mention it in Hilchos Ishus, but if it's a halacha of Yerusha, so you would think that you mentioned in Hilchos Nachlas. I don't know if the Rambam is assuming that we're reading Mishnah Torah Keseder, from beginning to end. But yes, that's a good point. I will have to come back to the rest of the Rambam. But the Rambam says that, it does not have it in the same halacha as the rest of the Yerushim. What does that tell us? What does that tell us? What is the relationship between Yerusha of the husband and all the other Yerushim? We spoke about Yerusha in general so far. We spoke about Yerusha of the brothers. We spoke about the relationship between the family members for Yibum. And now this is the first topic, husband and wife. So the Gemara, where does this come up on the next daf? That's why we're doing this now. Right, Kuf Tesima Beis. The Gemara quotes this halacha. She'ero, mi boy look at the Tanya, fourth line. Kuf Tesima Beis. Look at the Tanya. She'ero zu ishto malamed Habaal Yerushas ishto. She'ero, she'er. The word she'er doesn't say husband befavorish in the Torah. The word she'er. She'er literally means flesh, right? She'er zu ishto. That is his wife. That's the Habaal Yerushas ishto. That's how we know that the husband yarshins the wife. And the word she'er. Look at the Rashbam. What does the Rashbam say? Everybody catch the Rashbam? What does the Rashbam say on she'ero zu ishto? Who's got it? Somebody want to read it for us? Naftali, you got it? What does the Rashbam say? She'ero zu ishto.
She'ero zu ishto k'dichsiv yul basar echad. He's talking about Adam and Chava. They're like, one flesh.
They were like one. Right. What is that? Okay. Finish it first.
Because of Nami, she'erak susav asala igra. The food, clothing, and relations you shouldn't remove from her. Regarding the husband's request.
Right. What's the Rashbam driving at? He's just trying to show us the word she'er means flesh, refers to a wife, and the wife is a flesh with a husband. In Bereshis, v'ayil basar echad. Or is he trying to tell us something deeper? The Rashbam trying to tell us something that we don't appreciate.
It's possible that he's driving at that she'ero means that it would be even closer than son because the relationship between the husband and wife is closer than any other relationship.
Wow. Be closer. Maybe he's trying to tell us why the husband goes even before the son. Okay, very good. Yeah, Yaakov?
Doesn't the Gemara in Kedushin, like when it goes through all the weird Lashonos of like Harayat, like Zikuk Sali or whatever, all the weird Lashonos, it talks about like you're my flesh, and that works?
Yeah, that's where it comes from. It comes from that pasuk. Yes, that's from that pasuk.
It's the same concept.
Same concept. Same concept. Basar echad, very deep. If you look though, 2 daf from now on Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Beis, there's really 3 psukim, 3 different psukim quoted for husband yarshining. 3 psukim. The first one is the one that's here too. She'ero zu ishto. The Gemara says there, right in the middle of Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Beis, we're not immediately talking about it. She'ero zu ishto. Malamed Habaal Yerushas ishto. Then what does the Gemara say? Everybody got me? Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Beis in the middle. Yochol afiti rashenu. You might think also that she yarshins him. Pamalomar b'yarash osa. Who yaresh osa? And he yareshes osa. He yarshins her. She doesn't yarshin him. Fine. So there's a havamina that the woman should yarshin the husband. Let's keep that in mind. The Gemara says maybe you should say the woman yarshins the husband. No, you don't say that. The high cry lav hachi. The Gemara continues. Quotes another. Babar yoresh zishto who yoresh seven here yarshins also. The Gemara continues. Quotes another. Second wide line. Tanya. Yarasho sam lamesh Habaal yoresh zishto. There Rabbi says the yarasho sam. That is the pasuk. The husband yarshins the wife. Rabbi Shmuel says there's another pasuk. Again, we're not going to read the whole thing yet. The fact that if a woman marries out of the shvatim, she loses her nachla, shows that the husband yarshins her. And that's why the first generation in the midbar they weren't allowed to intermarry outside of their own shevet. Right? Only the next generation on Tu B'Av, they allowed, outside of the shevet to be married. Is there anything fundamentally different between the different makaros? Whenever the Gemara quotes more than one makar for a halacha, always good to think about, is there a different message of the halacha that is being proposed by the different psukim? Like, why do you need 3 psukim for? What's the machlokas about? Now, the first one should suffice. She'erozu ishto. What's wrong with that pasuk? Rabbi Kiva has to come along with the Yara Shosa. And just another ha'ara. I didn't see it anywhere, but I think it's an important point. The Gemara only has the Havamina, that the woman should yarshin the husband after the first source. After quoting She'erozu Ishto, the Gemara says, what about the opposite? What about the wife yarshining the husband? The Gemara doesn't ask that after the source 2 and source 3 are quoted.
Isn't that just because the pashtus of Sheiro is that it is that the woman gets it? Isn't that why you only have it by that pasuk?
I don't know if it's obvious that the woman gets it, that the woman is more involved in she'er, I would say. That has to be explained. Yes, I agree with you. That it's something about that pasuk, about she'er, that the woman plays more of a role, it's more of a partnership. I agree. But we're going to have to talk about that. But the other psukim, the Gemara does not question that it should be the wife. So why is that? One final Gemara. And then I'll leave you to do the rest of the Marmakomos. A Gemara in Arachin. Gemara in Arachin, on Daf Chafei. Some people say Arachin. The official name is Arachin. The way that I said it all my life was Arachin. That's what everybody always said. But then somebody pointed out that official name is Arachin. Okay, whatever. The Gemara in Arachin. You can find my Arachin. 1 second. Where is I have so many Gemaras all over the place here. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Okay. Says the Gemara in Arachin Adaf Chavei. The Gemara has a question, right? We just spoke about, remember, last sugya, ste'achuza. Ste'achuza. What's halacha? If somebody is makdish their ste'achuza, somebody has an ancestral piece of land. This week's parsha, the Chukosai. Somebody has an ancestral piece of land, and they're strapped for money. So what do? They're makdish it to the Beis HaMikdash. Beis HaMikdash gives them money for it. They give it to the Beis HaMikdash. So they have till Yovel to get it back. Till Yovel. Meaning if the Beis HaMikdash sells it, what's the Beis HaMikdash going to do with my backyard? They don't want it. They're going to sell it to somebody else. So I have till Yovel to buy it back. If I don't buy it back before Yovel from someone else, it goes to the Kohanim forever. I lose it. I have to buy it back. What did we learn last sugya? Who else can buy it back? The son can buy it back. Asks the Gemara, Arachin Daf Chaf Hey Amabeis. It's 2 lines. 2 lines. But this 2 lines might be the secret of our whole sugya. Boy Reb Zera, Isha, Mima Amid Lasada. If a woman sells a piece of land, let's say a man died, he had no sons, his daughter got everything. So she has the ancestral piece of land. She sells it. Who is the one that can stand in her place and buy it back besides herself? Mima midlasada. Look at the Rashi's here after. Mima midlasada. Gemara has 2 options. Al mukimla. Should we say the husband? If her husband buys back the piece of land, then it goes back to her. Shekain yarsha, because after all, he yarshins her. O Dilma and mukimla. Or no, maybe her son and not her husband is the one that can be mokim. Shekain, after all, no tabarai can be muksa, because the son takes ro'ui. What's ro'ui? a son, if a woman dies, Yerusha, regular Yerusha, it's even Ra'ui, not just Muhsak, what the person who died had when he died, but what if he's owed money and he gets 2 weeks later after he dies? That's right. That your regular Yerusha gets that too. A husband, we will learn about Shem later. A husband does not get Ra'ui. A husband does not get Ra'ui. Meaning, if the woman dies and the husband yashes her, and then the woman's great uncle dies and leaves her $1 million, the husband does not get that money. The woman's yarshim, other yarshim, get the money. A husband does not get Ra'ui, only Muhsak. So the Gemara says, who is the one that could buy the Te'achuzah back for her? Is it her husband, because the husband gets Yerusha, or is it the son, because the son gets Ra'ui? What's the suffix of the Gemara? And the Gemara says Teku. What's the suffix of the Gemara? The second side of the Gemara. The husband also gets Yerusha. The husband gets because he's Yoresh, or the son gets because the son is Yoresh. So what? Why should that make a difference? Is the second thought saying that the husband is not Yoresh? So what's going on here? What's the suffix about? And again, I don't want to give you too much away, but if I didn't get a chance to see the Rambam yet, when the Rambam quotes this Gemara, he says, does the husband work or not? He says nothing about the son. Look at the Ketzav Mishnah. Look at the Lechem Mishnah. The Lechem Mishnah asks a bomb kasha. Does not answer it. He leaves it b'tzarach iyan. Think about that Lechem Mishnah. How he quotes this Gemara. But again, this Gemara, what the Gemara is asking could be the secret that we're trying to figure out. How does Yerushas Habaal work? Whether it's Daraisa, whether it's Drabanan. Again, a lot of great stuff here that we're going to get into. Okay, this is that. I gave you a couple of Marmakomos. Hopefully they'll be able to get to. I'll let you